Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Transport Fever 2. Coming at you with more of our Dedication Island series, and boy, do we have a busy show for you today. Today, we have faster horses, more passenger trains, and we are going to make sure that people of Henduniapolis have all the food they could ever dream of. So let's go! Do not forget, of course, if you're enjoying yourself, smash the like button on every last one of these videos. Go ahead and subscribe, of course, and ring that bell because we have new content every single day here on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Let's go. Faster horses, you know the drill. We got to update all the things. So, we have passenger lines. And you can see here we're starting to add up. We're starting to get a lot more people looking to go places, and we need to make fixes to that. So what we're going to do is Jocelyn Curryburg Express Line, manage vehicles, 19 of them. We're going to change them all. We're upgrading, ladies and gentlemen, from the lovely Troika, which has gotten us this far, 35 years with the Troikas, and now we're going to have the old Drachki. A whopping 2 kilometers an hour faster, but the big one is way more power and way more capacity. That's right. Twice as heavy, but way more power. And oh, I got that capacity. 5 power. 5 capacity. This is going to be fantastic. Spend the money. We're done. By the way, how annoying is that sound? Fix your sound effects, Urban Games. Come on. You're better than that. We have the Jocelyn to Shepland Express, which is currently not getting many people on it at all. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to manage vehicles, and we're actually going to switch them all over. We'll end up selling a ton of them, but we'll be able to, what we'll do is the faster speed might increase the demand of the line, so we want to make sure that we're not deleting too many. We have this line over here, the Jocelyn train line. Let's manage those. There's 10 of them. And we're going to get all of them switched over as well. And the Rangerton line, of course. We're going to get all of them switched over to the Droshky. And then we have the other 2 lines are the tram lines, which are not doing particularly well. They have good capacity and not a ton of demand. So I might actually slip those down to 1 on each, to be honest with you. But we can check that out in a bit. So that's that. Well, let's go down here and continue to make our adjustments. The Rangerton to Henduniapolis line, once again, upgrading to the Droshky. Faster horses. How could you go wrong? That line right there is done, and then we got to go to the Druid line. And what's going to happen with this is you can see that we have an increase in demand over the last little while. Like there's a lot more people, so we should be able to fulfill a lot of these demands by making obviously the faster and higher capacity horse carriages available. And then so we can basically, let's go ahead and actually let this play as well. What we can do is we can replace them and then let it play out for a bit and see what happens to the demand because of the increase in speed and frequency. And then we could just make the adjustments on how many we need, because obviously there might be a point where we can actually reduce the number we need because we have a 40% increase in capacity and speed. So there might be a need for less. So we have to keep an eye on that. All right, in here we have this guy here, and we'll replace those like that. We also have the line going to the ferry. I suppose we could adjust that. We have 3 of those. Might as well make that adjustment like that. And we have the 2 ferry lines. Whoops, 2 ferry lines here. don't seem to be in super high demand, but we'll make the adjustments. And then what we'll do is we'll move on to something else, at which time we will be able to come back later and make adjustments to the numbers. Those guys have them, and this line needs to be adjusted as well. Now you could go through your managed line section on here and just go through them like that, but I like doing like this because then in my head I'm just like, okay, this city done, this city done, and it gives me a little bit better feeling about whether or not we've done the things we need to. This city's all trams except for the one line which we've already adjusted, which is going to Shepland, from Shepland to Joshland, so that's good. In this city, again, trams, and then that one's done. That's good. In here, we've already done the Rangerton Druid line from the Rangerton side, but we do have the Druidville to the pier line. That can definitely get changed over, so let's go like that. Now that's done. And finally, over on our Dediopolis Dogetopia Island, we can make an adjustment here. We'll probably be able to trim down the numbers in here for sure. And over here, finally in Dogetopia, we can manage this like that. Now all that's done, and we're feeling good about it. Now we want to move on from faster horses to more trains. And that means coming in here and setting up this line right there. So previously we set up the Curryburg train station to include passenger terminal, and so that you can see this coming straight down this line. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the demand obviously on this line quite a bit, I would think, because we're going to actually have people coming for the first time from Shepland down here to Curryburg. So let's go ahead and do some of the infrastructure things that we need to do first. That includes coming out here like that, and then I want to cross over here like that. Let's make sure we got our signals clear. Pull out there for a pull out there and pull out there. There we go. So all the signals required there. Bing, bang, boom. I would like to actually increase our frequency along this line of signals because we're going to have a lot more trains, and I don't want them to get slowed down by, well, a lot more trains, probably 2 more trains, but that way there's no staggering as they're crossing one another. They don't have to slow down to wait for them to clear the next zone. So that's set up there, and then we have to do down here. We need to configure this station. We haven't actually done this one yet. So what I can do is one of 2 things. I can either do just the one rail like we did in the other spot and then over. I think that's what I'll probably do, because there's no need to have 2 tracks just for this one side, because all it is just a back and forth to one other city. It's not like it's potentially going to include a lot more. So the passenger platforms next, like that, and then finally passenger buildings, and we are actually going to have room for this bad boy. Look at that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Boom. Centered. Let's go ahead and get crazy and put one on the other side as well. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's actually not particularly, well, it's not bad, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. It would have, yeah, that's fine. It would have had to come out that way, and I had to redo the whole station to fix it anyway. What I could do is potentially redo. I could delete this road. But you know what? Let's do that. It's only gonna take a second. Let's delete that road back to there, and then we can make the adjustment. This is just total nitpick city here. and level this off so that this land is all kind of level with one another here. All out here. Like that. And then we can come back in here with our road. And it's going to climb up to our level. Let's actually just bring that back a little bit like that. Oops. And then come across on a nice straight line. And now, I still don't like the way that those lines, because this is level, but it makes those weird looking gray lines and stuff. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to do for a mod for that, but just something to make them look a little bit nicer, a little bit smoother would be nice. But anyway, this is done. We have passenger trains. So what we're going to be able to do is we're going to have to figure out a way to hook this back into this as well. Maybe just a back and forth line here, a tram that goes back and forth here. That's interesting. That would be an interesting decision. We're going to have to make that eventually. Let's go ahead and use this right here as our depot. And like that. And set up a new line. And before you know it, just like that, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, we're going to have a line going from there to there. Could not connect all of the stations. Oh, you're damn right you would. You wouldn't be able to do it yet. Don't be silly. This is going to be PAX line from Shepland to Curryburg. And of course, we have not done the thing over here. So let's go like this. Take care of that problem we've created. Just like this. We're just going to come to here. And then... You know what? I'm going to take this out. I actually don't need it. Because the line is... Yeah. But what I do need is room to put our track in to cross over. Like that. Let's clean that up a little bit. So that this one here, we will come down here and slide into here and then come back out and come across like that. So we need signals. Got a node there. We've got a node there and to go there. There we go. And purchase a vehicle. We've got these guys here, this brand new guy here, but I'm not a big fan of it. It doesn't go particularly fast. It doesn't really have a whole lot of power. It's not, and it's a little bit on the pricey side. What do I use on my other passenger lines? I'm curious. I can't remember, to be honest with you. Okay, I know which ones that are. And they seem to work pretty well, I think, right? Make pretty good money on those. So let's go ahead and buy... It's this one here that we've been using. Our passenger... We can go as high as 60 if we use these. Let's see. They're lighter, but they're significantly lighter. They only carry 11, but the weight of 3 of them would be 45 tons, where the weight of two of these is 40. So it's not much more heavy. And then we would go from 26 capacity to 33 capacity. Whether or not I need that much is the other thing. 55. This guy can go 64. I'm going to go with these guys here. And I'm going to get these guys here. I'm going to start with 2. They'll get up to speed quick because they're lighter. And they still have 22 capacity. 2 of them going back and forth on a fairly short line might work well. We have good pickup, so we'll get up to speed quickly. But the other thing to keep in mind is we can always add a third on if we need the capacity. But I like this power to weight ratio we got going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy that, and we're gonna stick it on the Pax Sheplin to Curryburg line. Unable to find path. What? The vehicle's in here, right? Oh, did I have a mistake down there? Why is it not going on the right-hand side? Did I screw up one of the signals? I don't understand. Why would it be trying to cross? It's one way all along there. It's no, there's no reason for it to want to be doing this. Let me try redoing the line. Like that. And let me just go add station there down to here. It's still doing it. I'm just going to try and redo this. Maybe the track was screwed up a little bit. The signals are in place to make this work properly, so I don't really get how it could be an issue. Like that. Signal in place there. Signal in place there. Let's throw the signal in there. And then this line, I do not get it. From there down to there. I don't understand. I guess I'll put a waypoint in. I don't know what else I could do. So let's go like this, and let's go like this. And oh wait, I have to put the waypoint in first. Waypoint. Or do I have to do these? Yeah, waypoint on this. Okay, so I'll just go like this. I don't really get this at all. Manage line. And then add waypoint. Like that. I don't know. I'm just lost my mind or what? Sheplin Curryburg line. What's the problem now? Something's wrong. I've never used a waypoint on a rail before, so I don't really know. What in the heck is going on? I really don't get it. What's going on here? It should absolutely be making the decision to travel on the side it's supposed to. Over here. Like any other train. I'm going to leave that and move on to the next thing I wanted to look at, because I don't really know. I'm just going to start the game back up and just leave that for a minute. I maybe just need to take a deep breath and look at it again. The other one I wanted to do was I wanted to take a look in here at redoing this entire station and how we think about this works. And what I'll probably have to do is wait till this guy leaves and then delete. And I'm thinking about making a move to there. So passenger station. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I want to line this up. I believe if I do a terminus, I won't be able to. Let me try this. Pause. Let's bulldoze this for a second. And let's bulldoze this. Like that as well. Because I'm pretty sure if you do a terminus, a passenger terminus station, like, where am I? Yeah, this is a passenger terminus. I'm pretty sure if you do this, like this, then I apologize for the crying in the background, but Rory is being really, really, really annoying. I don't know if I'll be able to do anything on the other sides there. Because if I put it here, like this, I don't think it'll let me. Oh no, I probably could. I could do that. Yeah, let me just try this. And then here comes the other problem, because I want to do a terminus. And this is where you start blowing through money, because what I want to do is I want to go here and line that up perfectly, and also have a road lined up, and also have room for let me try something. I want to just try something here real quick. I'm going to put the track in here just a little bit longer and try to put that in, and then go configure. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that like that. I absolutely 100% can. So, the big question becomes, if we configure does this fit? It does. How close is it? I like it. I like it, and I like it a lot. Perfect. Now, I don't need this part in like this. It's working out well so far, though. Let's bulldoze these. As painful as it is. And we are going to configure this, because what I want to do is have the big cargo building right here. So we have to figure out what we can put in here. So we go platforms first. Whoops. Then 2 tracks. Then platform again. Then the big cargo building. Oh my god, could this be working out any better? And what I want to do is have the big cargo building opposite this. It's not going to perfectly center on it though, unfortunately, but that's pretty close. Oh my god, could this... I can't even imagine a world in which things could have worked out this well. Can't even imagine a world in which things worked out this well. Fantastic. So we have passenger and the cargo. Now, the one thing I'm going to have to sort out... Whew, we might actually be able to get away with this too. Let me go with some rail to hook this up. And then let me delete this signal. And I'm going to run this out as far as I can get it. Like that, and like that. And get the signals back up and running there. And there. So that will be the passenger, and then I'll have to get the cargo hooked up in there to go back on. But what's really interesting is that if I could ever get the cargo to pass through here, I don't think you can because that's in the way. That's actually not too big a deal because the only thing is that I'm going to have to figure out a way. We're going to have our bay in here. That's going to be bringing in the harbor is going to be bringing in the fuel. And then the fuel is going to want to distribute along this line. Now, that being said, we've got so much stuff that's going to be running along this line that we're probably going to want to incorporate something completely different anyway. And that could include a completely different train line. This is going to be the industrial yard for Rangerton where we build the goods. And we're going to have train lines coming up in here to bring the product. And then there's going to be fuel going down to Curryburg from here. And then we need fuel over here and here. So what we could do is potentially have the line come here and split off. And come out, and then just a completely separate line that brings the fuel in. And we could bring the fuel potentially to a station here to get trucked in Jocelyn, and then another one we could actually expand this here and have the fuel come in here for Shepland. So the fuel would basically be coming south of the cities on a completely separate line, just like this. So it would come out of here, and straight down into Curryburg, but also out of here and then turn and just do a separate line across there. And that way we would not actually need this the fuel to go across there. The fuel would have a separate line down this side. And that just makes a lot of sense because we have so many trains running on these tracks. So having multiple lines hooking up major cities like this is going to make sense coming out of this harbor especially. So I like that plan. So we wouldn't actually need that anyway. The only other thing we will be doing is we are going to have over here, I'm going to have another train line, or sorry, another like a trail yard, train to go out of here, or maybe even leave here, that can head up towards Hinduniapolis. That's a possibility to get trains there. We might just stick with road vehicles the entire time and not set up a train here and just try to limit the amount of bridges and stuff. We could adjust this bridge obviously to something nice and just have a nice express road that would hook up via there. That might end up being the way, and then we just keep this like as it is. I think that's, the more I think about it, the more I think that's the way it's going to end up. So let's go ahead and let's go rail tracks like this, and let me come straight out of here, not for too long, but a little bit, and I should go there. And then I need to let me go ahead and do this. Throw that out of the way, including the steam. And then I'm going to delete these signals so that I can and not have that restricting myself. And then I think I can do that there. Let me just, I want to have it as nice a line as I can. That's pretty smooth there. Now, can I, you know what I'm curious about is if I can start it here and come up. And then adjust it from this end here. No, it won't let me. I gotta start down here. Alright. It's gonna give me this. I like the way it looks. So I'm gonna take it. And then we'll grab this guy, and then we'll go right down. The heck? Where's the line? There it is there. Right in there. Perfect. Just like that. Looking fantastic. Signal there. And we signal getting onto there. We signal getting onto there. Signal there is good. We're good to go. That's good. The only thing actually we need actually is 2 more sets of signals. I need signal there and a signal there, and then I need the tracks that would go here like this, like that, and then we just need to put this thing in use. And hopefully this is going to work out better than the last one. There to there. Give it a nice color. I'll have to sort out our color schemes for passenger lines at some point. This is going to be a PAX line that goes from Joshland to... Why won't that... There we go. Rangerton. Joshland Rangerton, and we can buy what are we looking for? We decided to use this guy here, right? This guy here for the power and the speed, because we can use these guys. I'm gonna start with 2. And then this is PAX, Joshland to Rangerton. And hopefully this line's not screwed up such that it is. No, looks good. I honestly don't know what's going on with the last one. What I'll probably do is just finagle that one while we are... That's good. Oh, and you know what? This is going to be screwed up here. This guy's not going to be able to drop off. Oh, wait, he was going to drop off. Really? It let him drop off. That's interesting. It let him drop off in the passenger station. What I need to do is actually go... This is the tools. Freight, tools to Rangerton. I actually need to change the terminal for this one. So manage line, and in Rangerton, we want to use... Wait. I'm confused. Once again, I'm confused. This should be like this. But this should go in here. That shouldn't work. Because that's not a... Oh, I guess drop off, maybe you can with a drop off, but only when you're picking up. But what I need to do is change that line to... Oh, I think I know. I know exactly what it is. I need to adjust that line where it's going. This here, I need to configure, I actually need to manage this line and take this off and add it back in as this. There we go. That's what it was. And now they'll actually physically come into here and then leave. There we have it. I think we've done it, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've done it. Now, one more thing I want to do before we head off on this episode, and that is to check in on our lines and see if we have too many of anything. We're actually catching up here. We have much more capacity, obviously, but they're staying relatively full, but they're definitely kind of catching up on the backlog, and we can probably at some point soon clear them out. Let's see in here. It appears as though we've definitely cleared out a backlog, and they're starting to be a little empty. So any place where we have these guys kind of closely compacted, we can kind of like this one here, for instance, this has got the one guy on it. 5 there. We got 2 guys back to back here. 1. Oh, sorry, that's not. Sorry, didn't mean to wake you up. My bad. What's this guy got in here? That guy's full at the moment. That guy's full.
Hey.
Hey. So we can just slowly pick away at that. I'm not going to bore you on a video of that. But that's the kind of thing you want to do. You want to optimize those and see if you've got too many or not enough of certain things. You know, you go into a line like this, Joshland to Shepland, 18 to 75. We actually obviously have a PAX line going in there, back and forth. So that's going to kind of butcher the desires to get on it to begin with. So what you can do is you can go through and basically just find any of these guys here. We obviously have way, way, way too many. So you just go along the line. That guy's got nothing on it. Delete. That guy's got a couple. You let him go. None on it. Delete. None on it. Delete. And obviously the line will be just become more efficient, right? As it's got less vehicles, you'll be spending less overhead money and moving the same amount of people. Like that. And I think we're pretty good. One other thing I wanted to take a quick look at here as well is in Joshland, we have these tram lines, and they're actually losing me money. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to delete one of these and just have one line or one vehicle going back and forth between the two. So there's that one and there's this one. That one's got one. I'm gonna go and delete it. So that way there's only one going back, because there's got lots of capacity. They move pretty quick, and there's not a lot of demand to move that way, so that's fine. Got a lot of people waiting at these terminals. A lot of people wanting to go to Shepland and Kinshotaki. The Rangerton line's just getting moving. We're probably going to want to get a second train on that for sure. You can see here we've already got lots of people waiting. That's going to increase the demand as well in this area here. Coming this way, because now we have a destination at both ends instead of just the one. So that should look pretty good indeed. So we've done it. Also, you know what else we could do is take a look at our lines here and see how these have played out. So this here, we can move about 180 with those trucks, which means we should be able to do 90 or so, absolutely, of the food, which means in here we have a train that can move about 84, which is good. And then we have 2 boats. Now, this harbor, they have a capacity of 107, but what happens is they can basically, they each make a trip. So we have 1 train, and in the time it takes a train to go from here to here and back, one of these boats makes the trip. So they usually always come with a nice load of food. You have this guy, good food. By the time this guy gets there, there'll be another load and so on. And we're delivering over here pretty well. Rate of 60, that's plenty. And this will start to grow around here nicely, really good. These guys are up to 62 out of 108. 108's a number we'll have to try and compete with. We'll have to upgrade this. Maybe when we come back next time, I will have this upgraded and they'll be getting all that food. But I don't want to be way over on time. These episodes have been getting in over 50 minutes, and I want to be able to keep them a little bit snappier. What I'll probably have to do is put a second train line in, and then a 3rd boat, and then just a few more trucks. And that should do it. That should do it there. And then maybe another truck on this line aside as well. But that's it. Folks, if you enjoyed this episode, do not forget to hit that like button. It helps out so much on the YouTubes. And that's it. Of course, tomorrow there will be another episode, because that's what we do every single day. Brand new content. Don't forget it. If you want to see us on Twitch, I'm live Monday to Friday every single day. So you can come on over there, say hello, introduce yourself, and we'll hang out. Be great. All right, folks. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.